Cyclic meditation, CM in short. Cyclic meditation is a technique developed in Vivekananda Kendra to help the people to raise in consciousness, to move from the gross to the subtle, from the limited to the expansion. And the whole process has its basis in Mandukya Upanishad, the Karika in Mandukya, which gives us the necessary technique, summarizing all the essence of sadhana. Whatever sadhana we do, everything has been contained in this beautiful Karika Bhashya there. Laye sambodhaye chittam vikshiptam shamayet punaha sakashayam vijaniyat samapraptan chalayet. Chittam laye sati sambodhayet. When the mind gets into drowsiness, sleepiness, or what we call as tamas, sambodhayet, address it, awaken it, stimulate it. Don't allow that to sleep off. Don't allow that to just stay in the drowsiness. Once you do that, it is something like blasting an atom bomb. The energy just sprout up. The mind starts getting haphazard. Vikshiptam. The mind gets vikshipta, chanchala, random, haphazard. Shamayet punaha. Calm down. Calm down the haphazardness, calm down the randomness. The chanchalata has to be calmed down. The excessive rush of energy has to be contained. And this has to be done again and again, again and again. In our entire meditation process, in entire process of handling the mind, in our entire process of handling our entire personality, we have these two problems, tamas and excessive rajas. The tamas pulls us down, it gravitates us down and does not allow us to move. It's resistance to action at different levels, maybe body level, mind level, emotional level, whatnot. The body doesn't want to get up early in the morning. The mind doesn't want to think. The buddhi says, no, this is enough for me. I don't want to think any further. No, this is our usual limitation, which is called as the gravitational force of the tamas. That has to be shattered by stimulation. That's the first step. Even in advanced meditation, the sadhaks who have grown quite a lot, invariably they get stagnated at different levels. And the growth is very, very slow and hardly anything perceivable for years together. And that stagnation has to be broken up. That laya has to be shattered. Then we have the stimulation as the tool for that. But once the mind gets vikshipta, the excessive energy rush in the mind, that has to be calmed down. Shamana. Manah prashamanopayaha yoga itya vidhiyate. Yoga is even defined as manah prashamana, calming of the mind, silencing of the mind. And today one of the problems that we are facing is that we have tremendous power of concentration, great intelligence, sharpness, sensitivity, but unfortunately we don't know how to calm down the mind, silence the mind, tranquil the mind. The famous example of Abhimanyu getting into the Chakravyuha, not knowing how to come back. We are all in that stage of modern Abhimanyus. We know how to go deep into the subject and unravel the mysteries of this nature. We have done that. Through our technological growth, we have built skyscrapers and put man on the moon, and all that achievement, all through concentration, powerful thinking, sensitization, intelligence, sharpness, and tremendous depth of perception, high sensitivity levels. We have done that, no doubt. But then, this very same sensitivity and this very same depth of perception has started killing us, marring us. In fact, greater the sensitivity, greater the tension, greater the stress, and greater the problems that we face today. That is the problem of rajas. That is the problem of excessive sensitivity, oversensitivity, the hypersensitivity. That has to be reduced. Energy control, energy management is most necessary. How is it done? Prashamana, manah prashamanopayaha. The skill to calm down the mind, skill to tranquil the mind, skill to silence the mind. And that silencing of the mind is the key for growth. Vikshiptam shamayet. Shamana is a beautiful word in Sanskrit. Is to calm down the mind, is to tranquil the mind. Prashamana, prakarshena shamayati iti prashamanam. Deeply tranquil the mind, deeply silence the mind. A capacity to come out of that thinking loop, that worrying loop, that loop of tension and stress and the worrying loop. Invariably we get stuck with such thought streams which we like. And probably much more into such thoughts which we don't like. Hate has got greater power. So either we are stuck with raga or dvesha, and we are stuck in those loops of thinking, the worries, or the hate, or the greed. How to come out of it? And that is the real trick. Vikshiptam shamayet punaha. So calm down the mind. Look at the very structure of the mind, which is rushing, which is full with energy, and then trying to overwhelm us, enslave us, and running riot. The tremendous distractions, randomness, haphazardness of the mind. Calming down, silencing, tranquilling the mind is the answer. It has to be done again and again. Punah punaha, punah punaha. That is the key point. So stimulate, relax, stimulate, relax, stimulate, relax. Vikshiptam shamayet, laye sambodhet. Sambodhana prashamana. Sambodhana prashamana. Stimulate, relax, stimulate, relax. Punah punaha, punah punaha. That is the essential feature of all sadhanas. Once you start doing it, you slowly start moving up the ladder of consciousness. You start expanding your awareness, consciousness, and start growing. As you start growing deeper, then all the subconscious samskaras, deep-rooted imprints in our mind, the strong tendencies will all start sprouting up. Recognize that. Recognize such imprints, such blocks, such knots, phobias, obsessions, and whatnot. That's what the second line says. Sakashayam vijaniyat. Understand the deep-rooted blocks, often this is called as the granthis, hrudaya granthis. The strong tendencies which make us our maras, called samskaras, sankara. And that is the one that starts coming out as you start relaxing deeper and deeper, going deeper and deeper. Sakashayam vijaniyat. And then once you start purifying that inner vessel, the deep-rooted subconscious, and you start growing up faster and faster, jumping through various levels of consciousness, deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and reaching that stages of blissfulness, that steadiness, that equanimity, that maturity. Samapraptam nachalayet. Once you reach that samatattva, then do not disturb it. Remain in that state of beautiful, blissful awareness. Stay in that silence, stay in that tranquility. So wonderful is that beautiful karika. Then, how to translate that into action? We have developed this technique called the cyclic meditation, in which we use the gross physical asanas to bring about the stimulation at the grossest level, at the body level. Using asanas and performing the asanas in the cyclic meditation is quite different than what we normally do in our regular practice of asana classes. Here we do the asanas very, very slowly. Slowly start raising the arms, so on and so forth. The second point is, when we do that, we close the eyes and watch all the changes that occur due to the movements of the hands or the legs or the body. And that is the process of stimulation. And having reached the final position of the asanas, stay there for a while, calm down, and then slowly start coming back. Once you start coming back, then you are releasing the stimulation, relaxation. Again, keep the watch, keep the awareness, and see how the changes take place throughout the body. The asanas that we chosen here, for the short course of 20 minutes, we have used only the standing positions. If you have more time, you can have the full-fledged thing, 35 minutes, which will be containing not only standing but also sitting positions. So among the standing positions, we use the Tadasana, Ardha Kati Chakrasana on the right side and the left side, then Padahastasana and the Ardha Chakrasana, front and back bending. And we start with the Shavasana, relaxation posture, slowly come up to Tadasana, perform all the asanas and slowly come back to again Shavasana. Shavasana is to lie down on the back on the ground comfortably, releasing all the tensions and stresses of the body, and thereby the body just relaxes. The important thing in this cyclic meditation is to use the cyclicity, stimulate, relax, stimulate, relax, stimulate, relax. And thereby you move from the gross to the subtle, from a state of stressed up, tensed up condition with the stiff muscles and the tight neck and the grim face to a state of relaxed, calm situation. The whole body will relax, the whole body will calm down. There is a decreasing metabolic rate, and you feel lighter and lighter. At the end of the practice, you feel so energetic, so blissful, so happy. All the stresses and tensions that you accumulate during the day can be released. And as a result of that, you start growing to higher and higher stages of inner expansiveness. And that is what cyclic meditation offers. There are various stages of growth in cyclic meditation. When we do that in the beginning, we start with the asanas and start doing the practices, and probably you are able to recognize the muscular stretch that occurs, the stretch of the muscle and relaxation of the muscles. You go on seeing, and how there is the front bending followed by the back bending, a right bending posture followed by the left bending posture, and relaxation in Shavasana. Well, fine. But then as you start growing, you start recognizing and sensitizing yourself and are able to feel the breathing changes that occur. Slow deep breathing going in and going out, and the balance between the two nostrils. Then as you sensitize further, you are able to feel the blood flow. As you bend down, the blood flowing down into the head, and when you come back, the blood flowing down from the head. Increasing blood pressure, decreasing blood pressure, the heartbeat, the pulse, and the synchronization between heartbeat and the pulse. You know, when the heart goes into the systole, when it compresses, the increasing blood pressure will create a pulse. And when the heart goes to a diastole, when it relaxes, the blood pressure goes down and the dip in the pulse. Carefully observe how there is a synchronization between the two. Synchronization is there, but we are not watching because our mind is too occupied. This chatterbox all the time runs and runs, and the internal dialogue does not stop. If you calm down the mind, if there is relaxation, slowness, then you are able to feel them. So this is a process of sensitization and also relaxation in one sense. And if you go deeper, a little more, then you are able to feel the nerve impulses. Large number of nerve impulses go on. If I want to just raise my hand, there are thousands and millions of nerve impulses that move from the brain and from the hands to the brain, continuous movement. But we are not aware of it. Just as we are not aware of the heartbeat or the pulse, we are not aware of the nerve impulses as well. Therefore, it is necessary that you start feeling the nerve impulses. Well, when you bend backwards, there is a fine stretch of the spine and all the nerves are stretched, and therefore large number of nerve impulses come out. An avalanche of nerve impulses emerge, and therefore it is easy for you to feel the nerve impulses. Therefore, start recognizing the nerve impulses, maybe in a strong back bend like Ardha Chakrasana, or in sitting the Ushtrasana or Ardha Ushtrasana. Once you develop this sensitivity, you can feel the nerve impulses in all asanas. Then the sound resonance. We use different sounds, A, U and Ma, and each time you repeat this, then you feel the vibrations and the resonance throughout the body. The whole body should beautifully resonate. Just like a veena or tambura, you pluck the string and the whole veena or tambura gets into that resonance. Well, this is all at the body level which is happening, but we are not aware. By calming, relaxing, we will be able to recognize them step by step as we start growing. But then, more subtle are the changes that occur at the mental level, and at the emotional level, and at the intellectual level. Normally at the mental level, when you look at the thoughts, thinking goes on, the random mind, the haphazard mind, the chanchala mind, and there are thoughts after thoughts, hundreds and thousands and probably millions of thoughts going round. But if you look at the thoughts, you can certainly make out the two predominant modes in which the thoughts come. One in the form of pictures, another in the form of sounds. Visions and the sounds. Audio, visual. Initially start recognizing the visual thing. And when you decide, tomorrow I'm going to come to this hall and then start the practice, the whole picture goes on in your mind as in a video, and just see that wonderful video that goes on in this TV here and watch them. But some people do not operate in this visual mode, but they are highly developed in the sound. They think in terms of sounds. I had a brilliant boy who used to think predominantly in sounds, and hardly he could recall anything in terms of pictures. I asked him to look at a beautiful rose and just close his eyes and remember that. He could not do that. But a brilliant boy. But he could recognize everything in the form of sound. A person coming immediately, he will say, hey, yeah, this is the person, my close friend Raja there. And immediately he can recognize. By the mere sound, a tremendous sensitivity of sound. Well, that is how we think in terms of sounds. Fine. In cyclic meditation, we have to recognize both these. That is, the sound aspect and the visual aspect. Then, emotions. One of the most important things, There are violent emotions like kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, the 6 enemies of man, as we say, the greed, the jealousy, the hate, and so on. At the same time, there are softer emotions, gentler emotions, nobler emotions, divine emotions. The real love, the bhakti, the magnanimity, the giving, and the service attitude, and the national awareness, the love for humanity, and so on and so forth. And the whole process of our emotion, culture, and mastery is to move from the gross emotions to the subtler emotions, the nobler emotions, the softer emotions, the gentler emotions. And in this process, we have the growth of our personality, and this is mastering of emotions. But then, normally, we cannot do that without practice. We are not, unfortunately, trained in our entire education system to deal with our emotions. So, it is very necessary that we deal with our emotions and train our emotions effectively. And here we do that. In cyclic meditation, we bring about the change in emotion by imagining and then invoking different emotions and working on this. For example, you feel a feeling of extreme happiness and then expansiveness, and also you can feel the contraction and the expansion. Only a few emotions we use, but in Yoga Nidra, but in our mastering the emotions technique, we use many more emotions and train our emotional centers. Well, then intellectual. As we start going deeper and deeper into certain levels of consciousness, the deep-rooted intellectual conflicts start getting recognized. There could be conflict between husband and wife, between parents and children, and there could be conflict between worker to worker, and there could be differences between executives, and so on and so forth. In any intelligent society, this is bound to happen. But that conflict has to be recognized and resolved, and only then you will be able to really grow into a harmonious and peaceful society. I remember a young boy who was only 6 years, suffering from intense bronchial asthma. He used to have a lot of steroids, but he was not at all interested in doing yoga. I asked him, what is the matter? He just looks round and sees his father is far away, comes to me very close to my ear and says, you see, I don't want to overcome this asthma. I said, what? You want to suffer? Look here. It was 3 years back, and my parents are very critical and very great disciplinarian. They want everything to happen the way that they want me to do. And even the simplest of my desires, they don't fulfill. I wanted just a pen, I want a small milk chocolate, and I want to go with my friend to a movie and so on, but nothing doing. 3 years back, it's a boon I consider, I had a sudden choking of my breath. I didn't know what it is at that time, but now I understand it is the wheezing of bronchial asthma. And immediately both the parents ran to me and hugged me and then said, oh my dear, what is happening to you? Why are you getting choked up? What do you want? What can we give for you? Then immediately it struck me, Mommy, I want my beautiful milk chocolate. Both of them ran and brought me 4 milk chocolates, and you tell me now whether really I should overcome my asthma. That is how conflicts arise. Conflict between husband and wife and so on can create a lot of emotional problems, and the difficulties, stress problems and psychosomatic ailments, psychiatric problems, many of these things have emotional problems. Unless we resolve these conflicts, there is no solution. So as we are able to relax and go deep and understanding ourselves, through conscious awareness we should be able to overcome that. Again, the process is the sambodhana and the prashamana. Stimulation, relaxation, stimulation, relaxation. By doing that, we'll be able to overcome and remove those knots, phobias, obsessions, and the deep-rooted conflicts. Then people will have lots of money and everything they have and all the material comforts and the family and good friends and whatnot, but they are not happy. There are people like that. I've seen many billionaires suffering and they have an innate vacuum. But what is the way out? They should go to the very foundations of the intellect and reach that source of immense bliss. Tyage amrutatvam anashaho, said Bhagavad Gita, and that's the dictum that appealed and attracted one of the biggest billionaires in Canada, and he did it. And he started sharing his wealth. He started distributing his tremendous amount of wealth to people through a trust. The very interest of the trust was coming to $500 million a year. And thousands of institutions got the benefit. He went around those institutions. He was immensely happy looking at the wonderful way his money has helped the orphans and the cancer patients and the children in education institutes and whatnot. He comes back and says, for the first time in my life, now I understand the meaning of giving and how fulfilled I am, how satisfied I am. What happens in Tyaga? What happens in giving? In giving, our mind just touches that inner silence. There's a diffusion that takes place and the mind just dips into that ocean of silence. And that is the abode of all bliss, knowledge, creativity and freedom, and from where you have tremendous bliss comes out. That is the mechanism, that is the secret of giving up. Tyage naike amrutatvam anashuhu. By Tyaga we get at that amruta, that immortality, that bliss, that nectar of life. As you start growing more and more, that bliss will start coming out more and more, and again through stimulation, relaxation in cyclic meditation. Therefore we move from the grosser level of consciousness to the subtler, and in the process you start just overcoming those blocks, knots, stagnations, obsessions and so on, and go deeper and deeper into the levels of intellectual conflicts and resolve them and go to the very foundations of the intellect, and that is our causal state. That's our Anandamaya Kosha, from where the whole universe has come, and you start unraveling the mysteries hidden, and that is how cyclic meditation can raise us to great heights. Well, some of the studies, the research studies in measuring the effects of cyclic meditation has shown that there could be tremendous decrease in the basal metabolic rate. A full-fledged 35 minutes cyclic meditation can reduce the BMR by about 24 to 27%, while the deepest of the sleeps with very comfortable good 6 hours of sleep can reduce BMR only by 9%. 3 times more rest in just half an hour compared to 6 hours of sleep. Oh, that helps a lot of people to overcome their tamas, overcome their excessive sleep, and they save on time. And this is how cyclic meditation can work wonders. And we have 2 programs. One, we use only the standing positions and shavasana. In the full cyclic meditation, we use not only standing position and the sitting postures. Under the back of this cassette, we are going to have the instructions for the 20 minutes cyclic meditation. And those who want full 35 minutes, they can take our complete SMET program called the Self-Management of Executive Tension and use them effectively. But at the back of this cassette, we also have included the rudiments of this pranayama and a little bit of meditation, the Om meditation, that could be very useful and can be a very fine adjunct and complement to the cyclic meditation or avartan dhyana that we give here. At the end of the performance of this cyclic meditation, we offer all the benefits that we get for the welfare of the whole society and for the good of the whole nation, and with a resolve to make this country great, to raise ourselves in health and consciousness. We dedicate ourselves to the great inventions and discoveries of our great Maharshis in this land, and see that our contributions become more and more as we proceed in life, as we grow in life through various practices, and particularly this cyclic meditation. Well, this cyclic meditation has helped large number of people suffering from psychosomatic ailments and psychiatric problems like bronchial asthma, nasal allergy, hypertension, heart problem, epilepsy, migraine, the spondylosis, irritable bowel syndrome, and many, many more. And therefore, cyclic meditation could be used to deal with many of the stress problems, could be used for promotion of positive health and for raising in consciousness, and has immense application, is one of the finest contribution that Kendra has made. And probably we would have had thousands and thousands of people learn the cyclic meditation, have been practicing, and we have now the book New Perspectives in Stress Management. People could use it, and even the cassette on the full SMET that we use. And we are using this cyclic meditation also as a team building process to bring about the cohesion, harmony and peace, and therefore increase the motivational levels in the corporate sector through the aspect of group dynamics. As we expand in our awareness, we move from pointed awareness to linear, linear to surface, surface to 3 dimensions, and from 3 dimensions to group awareness, and from group awareness to all pervasive awareness. That's what we call as expansion of awareness. On one front, you increase our sensitivity level, on the other front, we expand our awareness. Normally in modern life, we only increase our sensitivity and we do not expand our awareness, we do not use relaxation. As a result, we are stuck with sensitivity intelligence, which is a boon, no doubt, on one front, but on the other front, it is one of the greatest menaces that we have. Therefore, expansion of awareness is part and parcel of this entire cyclic meditation process, and in the practice that you are going to see on the other side of the cassette, you would be introduced to this pointed awareness, linear, surface, 3-dimensional awareness, and group awareness, and all-pervasive awareness. In pointed awareness, you just have an awareness at a point. In linear awareness, you stretch that along a line. In surface awareness, you make it on the surface. For example, when you do the Namaskara Mudra, you have surface awareness. When you lie down on the back, you have surface awareness, and so on. But when you repeat a sound, a ah, oo, and ma, then the whole body will resonate. That is the 3D awareness. And when you work together in a group and synchronize yourself with all others in the group, then it is group awareness. And when you expand yourself into that infinite ocean or an infinite blue sky, infinite space, and forget this body, that is the all-pervasive awareness. And this is how we start expanding. Expansion of awareness and depth of perception by increasing the sensitivity has been the hallmarks of progress and growth for anybody in the society. That is elevation of consciousness. But all that growth has to be dedicated and committed for the growth of the society and the atmosphere around us and for the national good. And this is what Nagendra is doing through the practice of cyclic meditation for many, many years now, almost 15 years. And a large number of people have got the benefit, and there is improvement in the whole society through the practice of cyclic meditation. And on the other side, you can put it on and then start the practice. And more details can be obtained with Vivekananda Kendra, particularly with Yoga Research Foundation, with Prashanti Kutiram, beautiful campus that we have. And you could use that. You can come and learn there, or you can do through various our SMET programs and help yourself.